Hello, it's Conan here again. It's Season 2, new season, new world. And to get us started right off, we have a challenge to build our houses with a single inventory. So this is my inventory. It flashed off the screen very quickly. And I've already selected out a space that I've outlined with my fence. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. Anyway, I'm placing down two chests. So the one that I placed down over by the cave is for my items that I discover while building my house, because those cannot be used for building my house. This is a one inventory challenge only. So now I'm clearing out all the trees. When that's done, I decide that this area is going to make a really good cellar. So I find some monsters and decide to block it off. While I'm blocking it off, I'm going to, I might as well make it a cellar face. So I do that. Looks pretty good. It's not a finished product, of course, because you know me, I love my dark oak, and that is definitely not dark oak. So I gotta light up this place so we don't get any more monsters. That would always be unfortunate. And this ended up not being enough light. I ended up having to put a few more torches in at the end. Then I came through and just started tearing up all the grass. I wanted some plain ground to work with. Then I started measuring out where I wanted the door, and then I came in with my carpet. And I'm using carpet to decide where I'm going to put the outer walls of my house. That's what it ends up looking like, and the reason that I use carpet, of course, is because it comes up very quickly. I can change the outline very easily. And so anyway, I start putting down some stone brick mixed in with other materials, make the foundation of the outside. And that's just going to be my basement floor is going to have this. And then I come in with a few more different materials, make it look broken up. And the reason to do this is it gives the build some style, some character. Having a plain thing just going all the way around the same material, not broken up at all, it looks awful. Anyway, I start coming in with a pergola, and these are the slants that go over the pergola. Now I'm doing a lot of cutting, and I realize that it gets kind of fast and difficult to watch. What I should have done is gotten a second account that I could hover in the sky and record myself building and then do a time lapse. And that is definitely what I should have done. But I didn't, because I didn't have the money. I mean, getting a second account is quite expensive. So I start putting in some fence for this pergola and whatnot. So yeah, the reason that there's so much cutting is building my house took somewhere in the order of 4 hours of recording time, and I needed to bring this down into a 20-minute spot, which also shares a tour of my house. So lots of cutting. Lots of cutting. Anyway, I filled out my upper floors, plural, with the wood, and just kind of taking a look at it. It needs something on the corners, and so I end up doing dark oak on the corners, because of course I do. Dark oak is my friend. I love dark oak. Anyway, again with dark oak, I put in my roofs, and I'm doing a very slow grade with the roofs. And here I'm measuring out where I'm going to place things, make sure it's all nice and decent, because I have that other roof that's going to be coming in, and I want them to match up and not have to tear it out so much. And then I'm doing some random shingling to give it a nice appearance. You'll also notice that my roof bows down in the middle, or bows down in the middle. It has to make it look like it's been old and kind of weathered a little bit. I've left a space in the middle for the stone, And this stone is just going to give a little bit of character. These are my crossbeam, or not crossbeam. Oh, I forget what it's called. But anyway, it's a structural and decorative piece that I'm putting on. And I end up giving it kind of a flare at the ends, which I really like. I put down a stair and then a stone wall on top of that stair. It gives it a real nice look, in my opinion. And again, this just comes down to you need to break things up, you need decoration, etc. And then I come in and put in a it's not a furnace, it's a chimney. There we go, a chimney. And that just makes it look really quaint. It's not functional or anything. Then I come in, I gotta fix up my cellar, make it dark oak, and I put in some beams over it, make it look like it's structured. Then some more decoration outside. This is to make it look like it's a bit of a farm land, a little bit. Put some fence around it. And again, this is just to break things up. It's some contrasting color. It makes the house appear more lived in. And that's really important with Minecraft. You just need to really work hard to break up all the samey looking textures and stuff. And here I do a victory lap. It looks pretty good. Then I put in some blue orchids around my pergola because my last girlfriend, her favorite color or her favorite flower is blue orchids, and I don't know, just kind of a little bit of an homage to her. But then I fill in my floors with dark oak, of course. And then, yeah, I've got the main floor. So I did the basement and the main floor with a dark oak. Then I start planning out what I'm going to do with walls. Start breaking out some windows, and then I decorate the wood because it's too bland. It needs texture to it. So that's the house, and I do a little bit of a look around, just to make sure everything looks nice, make sure everything has the right textures, and yeah, I cannot overstate enough, or at all, how important it is that you pockmark your walls and give them texture. Otherwise, it gets ugly. Alright, well, it's been a couple of days since that last clip. I've been playing Minecraft almost non-stop since then. Just because I really like this house. I really like this world. It just happens sometimes when you do a server change. And, you know, I really ended up with a house that I absolutely love, with doing a single inventory build challenge. Oh my gosh, I'm in a hole. Yes, I put up a sign, warning, dangerous cave, do not enter. I feel like that was a little quaint thing to do. So I have a whole lot of resources because of all that moving around and playing around and whatnot. But I wanted to give you a tour of my house, and since my my house building ended up being about 8 minutes long, I think I might also give you a tour of the town. So I found some horses, put up their stats and everything, and I'll be breeding those. But anyway, let's go in through the front door, and immediately you see my banner. Here we have a kitchen area. Here's our pantry, full of food. I already have an ender chest, because I'm that awesome, and again, because it's been about 4 or so days, and I have been playing almost non-stop. So that kind of stuff is bound to happen. Anyway, I have a storage area, and it is full up. It is as full can be. Yeah. So anyway, cobblestone, not a whole lot in here, right? Well, I have another double chest down in the cellar, of cobblestone. I figured the cellar would be a great place to keep things I'm not going to be getting very often. So here's the bedroom. Again, another banner. And if we go upstairs into the attic, this will be more storage space. Again, things I don't get as often, and less often than the things that I would get in the cellar. So the attic will be like the most uncommonly used items. Down here, so this is just an entryway. I've got a nice modern carpet going on. And yeah, so this is my enchanting room. And it's doing pretty well for itself. Yeah. Here we have like armor, so I want to be putting together a different suit of armor for different occasions. One for dressing up and going to the ball, for example. Here we have the brewing station. Again, it's doing pretty well for itself. Got 8 magma cream. Very excited about that. And I have more potions of water breathing that I know what to do with. I think that the potions of water breathing combined with an underwater armor set will result in a very good time in a water fortress. So now, just the last thing to see is the cellar, right? Down here in the cellar, I've got another banner. Here's my cobblestone I was talking about. And I put in a whole bunch of these supports because it just looks right. Now this was with my single inventory. Remember, there's no remodeling, and putting these in would be considered remodeling. I did this, put in those support beams. I would have liked to have had more, but I was running out of material. I didn't have any left over, really. In fact, I think it used my last one building this last arch. Anyway, got some wither skeleton skulls. I am definitely going to be summoning a wither with those later on. I don't have any armor that is specifically designed for the nether, but that's where it would go. And then my nether shield. And back here behind the portal, potions of fire resistance and milk for the withers. I definitely want milk when I'm fighting withers. If they start ganging up on me and they put the wither enchantment on me, or status effect rather, then I am done for. Yeah, and then I have my not farm. My mine is all the way out there, beyond the purple pillar, where the HOA can't get angry about mines. So the reason that mines are to be outside of the village, and the reason we have mines out of the village is so that we don't start muddying up and dirtying up the town, making it look ugly. We also are doing farms that are publicly owned and publicly farmed. So that's another thing that the HOA is all about. So this is Finro Dude's place. He's got a very nice, very quaint little area. Little thing to go downstairs with. Doors that lead nowhere with signs. He said that, or I think he said that he was done building his house. And if that's the case, then I hope he's not thinking about remodeling by opening these up into caves. Uh-oh. The Gestapo might have something to say about that. Anyway, I gotta go to bed, and then I'll resume the tour. Okay, we can get back to the tour. So, Finro Dude is the only person that lives relatively close to me. We have the Challenge Castle is what we're calling it, and I remodeled the whole thing. It was created by somebody else, and it was a real eyesore. So I came in creative mode and just tore down the whole thing and rebuilt it in in this more, I think, attractive way. Even the person who built it agreed that it was an eyesore. So, I mean, there's no real hard feelings there. If we go up the tower, then we can see the entire village, and this is making me dizzy. So I didn't do a perfect job of remodeling, right? But, you know, good enough. So, that's my house out there. That's Finro Dude, right? Then, that is Dagger out there. And we have Fate Ignati over there. And finally, Snafu is those little white pillars. I don't know if you can see them on a phone or anything, but they're out there behind the oak tree. She's still building her house. I think everybody else is done with their houses, but she is still working on hers. Moving swiftly on. So down here, we went upstairs to do the outlook. If we go downstairs, this is where we do our voting and stuff. This light, for whatever reason, isn't working. I have droppers set up, and I have comparators reading out from those droppers. But items now, I guess with the 1.11 update, they just speed through the droppers, and so they never put out a signal, and that means that this light never comes on. So we can't rely on the light going off to switch the lever back up, which is really quite unfortunate, if I say so myself. Anyway, so let's go check out Fate Ignati's place. Oh, I should have gone over the bridge. The bridge is also remodeled as a part of the Challenge Castle. So, you know, you have my awesome building styles and techniques to thank for that bridge. Not tooting my own horn or anything, right? Okay, so he's got something going on with his carpet. It's very bright. His bed, very center of the room. Well, not very, but center-ish. And he's doing pretty well for himself, if I take a peek. Doing very well for himself. So this would be his enchanting room, with an anvil in the corner. More carpet and some flowers. I don't know what he's planning on doing with this area, but it's begging for something, right? And then, of course, he has a terrace that he can come out on and view the roof and all that stuff. Anyway, he's got a cow farm right outside. Again, everything is communal. And that's for good reason, which will become evident in a later episode. And then finally, Dagger's house. So his is kind of interesting. He's gone with a tower that connects to a main structure, and he's got walkways between them. So he has essentially two buildings that make up or comprise his house. So that's kind of cool. He's got an enchanting area right here with more tables or more books than anybody would ever need. Okay. And he's doing pretty well for himself as well. Got some enchanted items going on. That's fun. Everybody's putting in these automatic doors, you know, with the pressure plates. And yeah, I would have as well, but I never made a pressure plate while building my house, and I don't want to, renovate because that's against the rules. So my house will never have the pressure plate doors, unfortunately. So this would be his furnace room. Got a little flower there. Yep, he's doing very well. Not as well as I am. No, I'm kidding. Looks like his bedroom was in there, and of course, like Fate, he has a roof access and a little, I guess, relaxation area where you can look out and think about conquering the world. You know, basic stuff. But yeah, that is our town. Okay, I'm trying to find the way out. That's right. I have to keep going between the buildings to get out. So that's our town. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next episode, I don't know what I'll be doing. Probably something with Boss coming out. Unless Snafu finishes her house pretty quickly, in which case I'll do a tour of that, and we'll also do our vote for best house and all that stuff, and the winners will get a prize. So until the next time, have fun and stay curious.